morning, families, friends, staff, students, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2026. Welcome to the Washington State School of Appliance graduation ceremony. My name is Sean McCormick, and I have the privilege and honor of being the Director of On-Campus Programs at this incredible school. At this time, please rise as we welcome our seniors into the room. Please remain standing. I invite you to join us in the Pledge of Allegiance and land acknowledgement led by Senior Theo Burkhalter. The flag is located on the left side of the stage if you're in the audience. A land acknowledgement is a small gesture that becomes meaningful through authentic relationship and informed action, and opening to greater understanding of Native sovereignty and cultural rights, and reconciliation. WSSB acknowledges the indigenous people whose ancestral land we inhabit in South Washington include the Chinook, the Confederated Tribe of Grand Gong, and Warm Springs, Cowlitz, Klickitat, Nez Perce, Umatilla, and Yakima. We honor their lasting connection to this land, water, and wildlife. And pledge to respect their legacy through cooperation and education. Let this acknowledgement move beyond words. Consider how your daily actions honor the stewards of the land.
All right, graduates, feel this moment. This is your day. You've got lots of loved ones in this room. People who care about you, people who have known you for a year, people who have known you for a lifetime. Soak it in. I want to share something with you today. This is personal. Hopefully it's not too personal. Every December, something happens in my household that my 2 teenage kids look forward to almost as much as the holidays themselves. And it has nothing to do with presents and eggnog. It is Spotify Wrapped. How many of you know Spotify Wrapped? Okay. All right, everyone in my house voluntarily sits together, compares playlists, and has to explain themselves. If you're not familiar with Spotify Wrapped, it builds you a personal time capsule. It tallies your most played songs and wraps it all into a personality profile based on how you discover and experience music. Sometimes it's surprising. Sometimes it is impressive. And sometimes it is the kind of thing you just have to own in front of your family and just bear it. Most of all, it makes us laugh, and it reminds us that the music we choose, says more about who we are than we might expect. So this year, I asked each of the graduates to give me one song, just one, the song they are vibing on right now, or the one they want as the soundtrack to their life. What came back was not the playlist I could have predicted. It was honest, bold, wildly eclectic, and exactly right. And then I ran it through my own version of Spotify Wrapped and the help of Claude for analyzing songs. And according to the algorithm, the combined listening age of this playlist lands between the ages of 32 and 40. So either graduates have exceptionally sophisticated taste, or somewhere along the way they were raised on very good music. I'm going to choose to believe both. We've got classic rock, hip hop, a superhero theme song, a Bollywood ballad, and a song from a video game horror franchise. I didn't even know that was a genre. But here's what I discovered. Every single song they chose believed in something. In hope, in rising, in showing up, in being exactly, unapologetically themselves. So WSSB's class of 2026 Wrapped, one graduate, one song, one personality profile. Let's get into it. We've got Caden, who selected Don't Stop Believing by Dreaming. Caden is a dreamer who moves forward even when the path ahead is uncertain. This is someone who holds on to hope regardless of the odds and has learned that the journey carries them just as much meaning wherever it leads. Your genre? Classic rock resilience. Your mood? Hopeful and unstoppable. And your personality? The long hauler. Your most streamed emotion was quiet determination. You hit repeat not because you forgot the words, but because you needed to hear them one more time. Keep going, Caden. The road is yours. Owen chose God Only Knows by the Beach Boys. Owen has a depth that few people his age carry. Choosing one of the most tender songs ever written says everything. His sensitivity is not a vulnerability. It is a superpower that will make him an extraordinary friend and a force for good wherever he goes. Your genre? Timeless soul. Your mood? Deep and warm-hearted. Your personality? The connector. And your most extreme emotion was love, in all its quiet and unshakable forms. Olivia chose Dancing with Myself by Billy Idol. Okay, this is great. Olivia is fiercely and unapologetically herself. She doesn't shrink to fit into spaces that weren't built for her. She creates her own space and invites the world in on her own terms. Your genre? Punk sour pop. Your mood? Bold and unbothered. And your personality? The solo act. You are your own hype person, your own DJ, and your own best audience. The dance floor is wherever you are, Olivia. All right, Angels selected Hall of Fame by the script. Hall of Fame is a battle cry for the determined, a reminder that legends aren't born, they are built through dedication and heart. Angel believes greatness is within reach, not just for a select few, but for anyone willing to put in the work. Choosing this song is a declaration of intent. Your genre? Anthem pop rock. Your mood? Fired up and focused. And your personality? The competitor. Your most streamed emotion was the feeling right before you proved someone wrong. Go make history anymore. Sophia chose Pursuit of Happiness by Kid Cudi. Sophia understands that happiness isn't a destination you arrive at. It is something you pursue with everything you have, every single day, and even when the path is messy and the destination is unclear. Your genre? Conscious hip-hop. Your mood? Real and raw. And your personality? The seeker. Your most streamed emotion was the bittersweet satisfaction of chasing something that actually matters. Keep reaching, Sophia. Theo chose Dancing in the Flames by The Weeknd. Where others might freeze or retreat, Theo finds a way to keep going, not just surviving, but moving with intention. This song is about transformation, and Theo lives that every day. Your genre? Dark synth pop. Your mood? Intense and transformative. And your personality? The Phoenix. Your most streamed emotion was the feeling of coming through something and realizing you were still standing. Nothing can stop you now, Theo. Leeling selected Take Me on a Ride by We the Kingdom. Leeling trusts the journey and the people alongside her. That open-hearted courage to open doors that others might walk right past. Your genre? Contemporary Christian pop. Your mood? Faithful and wide open. And your personality? The adventurer. Your most streamed emotion was wonder. The ride is just getting good here. All right, Jess, you chose the Batman theme by Neil Hefti, the original. Jess chose a theme song. Not a favorite song, a theme song. This is a student with a sense of mission and a flair for the dramatic, and a deep belief that one person genuinely can make a difference. Your genre? Cinematic big band. Your mood? Iconic and unstoppable. And your personality? The hero. Your most streamed emotion was conviction. Gotham didn't know what was coming, Jess. Des selected Destiny by Effects. Des knows that his future is something he claims, not something that happens to him. He pays attention to his goals, his values, and the kind of person he's becoming every single day. Your genre? Electronic motivational. Your mood? Locked in and launching. And your personality? The architect. You don't put music on pastime. You put it on to build something. Your destiny was never a destination, Des. It is a daily decision. Henry selected Junkyard Dog by Winger. Henry chose a song that takes courage to carry, and he carried it with grace. This is someone who pays attention, feels deeply, and understands that life is not always simple or fair. Your genre? Hard rock with heart. Your mood? Heavy, honest, and deeply human. Your personality, the witness. Your most street emotion was empathy in its most generous form. The world needs people like you, Henry. Nevaeh selected Rise Up from M. Did I say that right? Ansel King is the artist. Nevaeh didn't choose a song from a safe distance. She is living it right now, in a brand new song for someone in the middle of writing their own story. Your genre, independent soul. Your mood, rising every single time. And your personality, the lifter. Your most streamed emotion was the relief and power of getting back up. You rise, Nevaeh. You always rise. All right, this is you, Taylor. Taylor selected Circus of the Dead by Try Hard Ninja. Taylor's message is clear. I know what I love, I am not apologizing for it, and I am proud of what makes me uniquely me. That kind of confidence at this age is a tremendous gift. Your genre? Video game storytelling, dark alternative. Your mood? Bold, creative, and completely yourself. And your personality? The outlier. Your most streamed emotion was creative defiance. The world is more interesting with you in it, Taylor. Playlist, and I want to let you know we have QR codes available if you do want to take it with you. Yes. We have one more, it's really good. Cycling. Siraj Dubahain by Imam Malik. Cyclist chose a song in another language from another world because feeling doesn't need a translation. This is a soul of great depth who carries the beauty and bittersweetness of life's turning points with grace. Your genre? Bollywood soul. Your mood? Deeply felt and beautifully whole. And your personality? The poet. Your most streamed emotion was the kind of longing that isn't sad. It is full. As one sun sets, Saifullah, watch how beautifully the next one rises. So that's your wrap. 13 songs, 13 graduates, 13 completely different answers to the same question. What does your life sound like? You don't need a quote or statistic to understand this class. You just need to listen. And what we heard was grit, empathy, faith, defiance, humor, heart, and an absolute refusal to be anything other than exactly themselves. We are not just handing them a diploma today. We are sending into the world 13 people who already know what their life sounds like. And our job is to simply turn up the volume. Congratulations, class of 2024. At this time, I'd like to share with you our senior spotlight video.
Hi, my name is Desmond Kenty and I'm from Olympia, Washington.
My name is Owen Bowe and I'm from Deer Park, Washington.
Hi, my name is Olivia and I'm from Longview, Washington.
Hello, my name is Kaden and I'm from Monroe, Washington.
Hello, my name is Taylor Dooley. I'm from Myrtle Creek, Oregon.
Hello, I'm Elaine Jusen and I come from Vancouver, Washington.
My name is Henry Zimmerman and I'm from Vancouver, Washington.
Hi, this is Saifullah and I'm from Beaverton.
Hi, my name is Nevaeh Gonzalez and I'm from Goldendale, Washington.
Hello, my name is Thea Burkhalter and I'm from Roxburgh, Washington.
I'm Jess Hicks and I'm from Kansas, Washington.
Hi, my name is Asia Lily Boyko. I'm from Vancouver, Washington.
I'm Sophia Lozana. I'm from Tacoma.
We sat down and asked them a few questions. Here's what they had to say. What is your favorite memory from your time at WSSB?
The first ever track meet, how welcoming it was.
Swimming and hanging out with Hayden.
A mixture of the sports, so like football, powerlifting, and also enjoying good.
And football. fun.
Probably walking the track with us.
The school trips, goal ball to power
Busy powerlifting to every day and team parties.
I think the year I started computing.
What is something that you learned at WSSB that you will carry with you forever?
Self-growth, being confident.
Patience, teamwork, and leadership.
Are definitely strengthened by self-advocacy skills.
All of the skills.
Honesty, positive.
To be like more open.
Some independent living skills.
What will you miss most about WSSB?
See my friends every day.
My friends and the teachers.
Yeah, more friends.
The traveling experience I gotta go, like for goal ball events.
A little bit of the social aspect.
Collaboration. The connection that students have with teachers.
To see my friends.
Getting to hang out with my friends that are out here in Washington. My friends.
I have made very good friends at WSSB.
Just high school in general, because now my real life starts.
What are you most excited about in this next phase of your life?
Going out into the world, exploring, and really just living life to the fullest.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited for you now.
Professional making in culinary arts school next year.
Just seeing where they go, hearing take.
Within a career in self-design.
I'm really looking forward to just the independence and getting to do things on my own.
Anything that comes my way.
Getting to learn art and improving.
Even where I go to the workplace and maybe like.
What is something people would be surprised to learn about you?
I have the second, which is involuntary shaking of the eyes, and that gave me the second rarest eye color in the world.
I am very focused when I interview, so you won't catch me slacking.
I'm going to be a creative, inclusive entrepreneur in the future.
I'm not as non-serious as I think.
What message would you leave for your classmates?
Stay positive and keep your head up.
Create good memories.
Always keep going no matter how hard it gets.
To take advantage of all the opportunities that are offered here.
Don't forget that you were lucky.
Just be open to friendships. Do your best.
Whatever you want to do or just say don't give up because it can happen.
Keep pushing forward and think beyond and think bigger, because you can do it. Because I did it.
We are the class of 2026.
These lights are bright.
Hi, I'm Pam Parker. I'm the interim superintendent. Welcome and congratulations, you guys. This is pretty impressive. Are you excited? Yeah. They're trying. I'm watching them up here. They're really trying to me, so it's pretty impressive. This is a pretty big accomplishment, and I can tell you it's one of those days that you will remember. I'm old, and I'm like really old, and I can still remember the day I graduated. I even remember the dress I was wearing, not just because of the pictures I had, but it was a really cool wraparound dress. And this was, because I'm so old, it was the original hippie days. So it wouldn't be retro, I mean, it'd be retro now or vintage, but it was like the real coolness. But anyway, that's how much this day is what you're going to remember. But the little details that I remember, some of the most significant ones are the pride that I had in myself. I remember that it was my day. It was my graduation day. It was my diploma with my name on it. And maybe you won't remember right now, but it took, or I didn't realize until the very end that it took a team to get me across the stage that you're going to be walking through in a minute. But it is your graduation. And at some point you'll realize too that it took a tribe, a community, a posse, supporters, friends, mentors, teachers, and your family to get you across the stage. Know that we are your biggest fans. We want nothing more than for you to succeed in life and in school. And remember this, be proud of yourself for doing this and anything else. and always know that we're proud of you. Be sure to recognize, appreciate, and thank those that helped you, and those are your support system. I heard you mention in your videos all of your friends and the connections you've made. Remember that. Remember those people that helped you. Having a support network will be a critical part of your success throughout your life, especially during times of challenge, difficulty, or strain. When the excitement of the state fades a little bit, keep in mind all the people that offered you help and keep them close. That network will be beneficial for you to move as you move forward in your life. As you go forward, surround yourself with the people who support you and who are your fans. We all do life better if we support each other. That's the key to our success. I'd like to recognize and thank our board of trustees and ex officio board members for their valuable time, guidance, and support in the success of our agency, school, and most importantly, the individuals and families we serve, our incredible teachers, our support staff, parents, families of blind and low vision learners, the NFB, the Council of the Blind, and of course, all of the students. Congratulations, class of 2026. WSSB's big goal is that every blind and low vision student in Washington has supports and services they need. I hope you're graduating feeling supported and loved, because we believe in you. I have the honor of introducing our commencement speaker, Eli Sanchez. Eli is a certificated assistive technology instructor and a non-visual technology trainer at the Northwest Center for Assistive Technology Training, CAT Northwest. So if you've ever been to a CAT training, they always say meow after CAT, so I might just throw in a meow, just so you know. It's not my fault. CAT Northwest is based out of Washington School for the Blind, but it's a product of American Training Hospital. His journey to this work was not a straight line. Before becoming an AT specialist, he worked as an automobile and boat mechanic and welder, driven by the love of building and problem solving. After earning his assistive technology certificate at California State University, Northridge, Eli founded his own assistive technology training business before joining the Earl Baum Center in Santa Rosa, California, where he trained blind and low vision individuals in technology skills and helped them reach meaningful employment. Today, through CAT Northwest, and his partnership with the American Training Hospital for the Blind, he brings the same commitment to educators and students across the region. And it's not just our region. CAT is now spread down to the southwest and over to the east coast. So he does basically the perimeter of the country. Eli believes with everything he has that access to technology and access to opportunity are one and the same. Please join me in welcoming our 2026 commencement speaker, Eli Sanchez.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Eli.
Oh, man. So, thank you guys so much for having me up here. I just wanted to start by congratulating those that are graduating today. And, I mean, for me, honestly, you guys, it is a total honor to be up here in front of all of you and be here for you. You guys have done all of the work, and we're just here to do our best to support you. So, just real quick, I want you guys to take a pause and give yourself a pat on the back or a round of applause for everything you guys have done. So, all of you guys are not here by chance. You guys were here because you chose to be here. You guys chose to take the time to do your work required of you by your schooling, and still found time to interact with your friends and your family. And I'm sure somewhere in between, if you're like me, to go and do more stuff with friends. That's usually my priority when I was in high school. And also, I just want to also thank the great staff of WSSB. I've been here for 2.5 years, and it has been wonderful. So thank you guys for having me here. So because we're at graduation, and Pam did not start sharing her graduation, I figured I would share my graduation story. And I'm going to share it pretty quickly because it's going to set the tone for kind of the rest of my speech, and I would say kind of the rest of my life, you guys. So I went through the standard K through 12 system, meaning I went through your standard kindergarten through your mainstream high school. I did that with the help of a one-on-one aide and my TEIs. I had a great team in California, you guys. Awesome. I mean, I really couldn't have asked for anything better. When I entered high school with 20 extra credits, because when I was in middle school, I took high school level math courses. Yeah. I found out pretty quickly that math translates into understanding money, and I was sold it, guys. Yeah, there's no contest there. So when I got into my freshman year of high school, I already had accrued 20 extra credits that was towards my high school graduation in California, right? Well, I went through all of my schooling, and I was not particularly a good student, all right? And it was because I never did the work. It wasn't because I didn't have access to it. My team was great at giving me access. I wanted to build things, you guys. I mean, my bio says that, you know, I like to work on vehicles, I like to weld, I like to build things. And when I was 16, I took a welding course in high school. Oh man, did that principal have a time with me. Did you all just imagine, I was the only blind kid in that school with a double tank acetylene torch in my right hand, capable of throwing out a 10-foot flame. And that's what we were cutting metal with. She had a time. But my teacher was great. He was an awesome, awesome man. I couldn't have asked for a better teacher. Mr. Mark Lee, he's since passed on, but he was a great teacher. He let me melt metal. He let me work on lathes. He let me work on everything. Nothing was off limits for me in the class. And that was just awesome to me. I was so appreciative. So, needless to say, by the time I was in my senior year of high school, you know, I was already working, and well, the senioritis really kicked in. I did it hard. I wanted to go catch fish on my boat, but I had to weld it up myself. So I did. Until the truancy officer pulled me out of class one day and walked me over to the law front office, and we had a big meeting. And it was me, the principal, vice principal, truancy officer. Surprisingly, not my parents. But they did say they were going to call my parents. And I said, well, you can use my phone if you like. They don't usually answer phone numbers that they don't know. And basically they said, hey buddy, you gotta start showing up to class more, or we're gonna start taking credits away from you. And I said, okay, how many credits do I have? And they gave me a number. And I said, how many credits do I need to graduate? And they gave me a number. And I said, well, the number you gave me sounds like it's 20 credits above the number I need to graduate. And they go, yeah. And I said, well, from today until the end of graduation, worst case scenario, how many credits could you possibly take? They said 10. And I said, well, it sounds like I'm going to be still 10 ahead more than I need. So, well, we went fishing. So everything began from there. If you're anything also like me, during your graduation, you might think that this diploma that you're going to get is another piece of paper that you're going to go home and your family might talk about for a while. And you're going to take that piece of paper and put it in the drawer in your closet that's behind all the empty Amazon boxes. You're not going to open it for the next 2 years. That's kind of what I was thinking. I didn't realize during my graduation that it actually means a lot more than that. It means much more. Because once you graduate high school and you enter the second part of what's to come, whether it be education or employment or anything in between, the biggest thing is it means you now began a new chapter in your own book of life. Up until this point, everybody has written the book for you. Your teachers have written about you and your assignments. Your TBIs and your supporting group have written about you and your future goals and your IEPs. Your parents have written about how awesome and amazing their kids are in Instagram posts. Everybody has written about you guys. But now it's completely different. Today marks the day where it's time for you to write about yourself in the chapter that is about yourself. And I did not realize that when I graduated. So, this came to me later on because when I graduated, I entered the Department of Rehab in California. Department of Rehab is California's version of DSP here in Washington. And I was going to go into college and I wanted to study to be a oceanographer. Surprise, surprise, I like to fish, right? So I went ahead and did intake and interview. Nobody told me just how many intakes and interviews it takes to do anything once you graduate high school. It is the biggest thing. I mean, you do intakes and interviews for everything. You're constantly talking about yourself and what you need. And again, that's one of the biggest shockers to myself and everybody who works with me is everybody seems to be caught off guard about talking about yourself and the things that you need. We don't always know about the things that we need immediately, right? And that's okay. We can adjust as needed, as long as you can advocate for yourself. So, when I enrolled in Department of Rehab said, okay, we will pay for your college. Needless to say, I didn't get a scholarship. I just gave you guys my graduation story and wasn't getting much better than that, right? So I wasn't getting any big scholarships. So Department of Rehab said, we will pay for your schooling as long as you get all of the grants and money available to you. All right, great, I can do that. So first stop was the Social Security office at SSI, right? I was now 18. And turns out I had to do my own intake and my own interview. Couldn't have my parents or anybody else do it. And I could just give them my Social Security card, but they said no. So went ahead and did my intake, and I quickly got my interview. Pretty amazing, you guys, because it actually happened very quickly, surprisingly. Everybody told me it was going to take a long time whenever I asked. And, well, it was pretty quick. And within a month, I got a call saying, hey, your interview was great. You've been approved for a maximum allowed SSI in California. Awesome. And they said, we'll start immediately as soon as you pay back your $12,416 that you owe to the federal government. Sorry, well, basically what happened was, some point, we, when I was a kid, we apparently were signed up through some social services to get SSI, and California was cutting me checks, but never actually sent them to me, and they did not have a record of that. So on that same call, I was 18 and $12,000 in debt now, on top of my $3,000 boat that I took out for prom. Yes, I spent my prom money on the boat. And now I'm doing more intakes and scheduling more interviews to start investigations and start appeals court, and tell them that I actually don't have the money and I don't make enough money to pay them back because I'm going to be a broke college student. And, well, there's conflicting things going on here. And while that was happening, I also went ahead and applied for financial aid. Well, my first name is Eric. If you put an A on that, that's my sister, Erica. And she's 4 years older than me. When I applied to financial aid, they said, hey, it looks like this person, they went ahead and just took an A off of her name and is applying again. Same parents, same address, what's going on? So they said, you know, dude, it looks kind of suspicious, we're not going to give you any money. So you got to either, you know, gather up your parents and come to Washington, D.C. to our main office and do an interview, or we're not going to give you anything. I'm like, well, I can't afford the airplane to get everybody there, so we're not going to do anything. So there I was, 18, between college, and trying to figure out how to pay for stuff. So I went ahead and forward anyway. I did some odd jobs. And because I was doing odd jobs, I wasn't able to be a full-time student at college. So Department of Rehab was not going to cover all of my expenses. So I scrounged around the best that I could. Well, I did that for a long time. I say long time because it felt like a long time, but I actually only did it. The first time I went to college for 3 years. In those 3 years, I changed completely different directions twice. So when I went to college the first time, I went to study to be an oceanographer. Turns out that it's a very long process to become an oceanographer. And it's more paperwork than fish. I kind of have an issue with paperwork. I like the fish better. So I said, well, if we're going to do paperwork and fish, I might as well just separate the two and fish when I want to and go into a different field of stuff. So I went ahead and changed. I went to do political science. Oh man, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. But it also turns out I'm a good politician. And I'm not that good at politics, period. And, you know, politics takes a lot of time away from fish. And, you know, by the time I was 21, I had dropped out of college twice. I was 21 years old. Back to doing odd jobs. That was my fault, right? So, needless to say, I had to really figure something out. So I went ahead and decided, well, we're going to keep on doing this mechanic stuff for a while. And one of my friends convinced me, he said, hey, you've been actually volunteering for assistant tech for a long time, right? Because where I'm from is kind of a small area in California. And again, I was the only blind person for a while. There are a few more scattered through the county. And I was being pulled out of school at a very young age to help other TDIs and students with the technology, because I knew it, right? Just by pure necessity. So as I spent my time working, well, not volunteering, I would say, and I've been doing that pretty much my whole life, but I never got paid to do anything. And a friend of mine said, hey, you should get paid to do it, because you've been doing it for a long time. And I went ahead and said, well, I don't get any federal support, I don't get any SSI. So I said, well, I'll see if I can get the cash, and I'll pay for the course in cash. Thankfully I did. I still remember the last vehicle I did. It was a 2007 Honda CRV. I did front and rear brakes on it. I lost $200. And I paid for my schooling. And I got my AT certification and started actually to get paid by the Federal Center to do the work I had previously been volunteering for. I loved it, you guys. And I'm still doing it, we're almost 10 years into getting paid for this work, and I'm still loving it. So, up until then, I actually had not met many blind individuals. I did not know anybody who was full-time employed. A lot of students that I met, I didn't know anybody who was fully employed, so I didn't know what kind of jobs were available to individuals who are blind and low vision. And as I worked with the Federal Center, I worked with a lot of different individuals, primarily those who were older. I like to tell everybody I started from the top down. I worked with individuals who are not working, all the way down with you guys. This is my first time, full-time job working in the K-12, so think people kindergarten through high school. And I've covered the whole span of individuals who went from higher ed to, high school to college to employment, and then also promotions. Everybody who's graduated in here might be too young to know about Mike Rowe, but I'm sure everybody else knows about Mike Rowe here. Mike Rowe had a show called Dirty Jobs that I grew up watching a lot, because employment was a huge thing. I get it. I wanted some money. I had to get it. I had to get it to work, right? And I always wanted to be I always wanted to understand why we didn't have a Mike Rowe kind of person in the blind low vision community. Who was out here finding out what kind of jobs are people in our community most equipped to do? And even if we're not equipped, what does it take to get equipped to do the employment, and at what income brackets? It's no secret that in this community there is a very high unemployment number. And that's part of my Bible. It's a part of my mission that I'm looking to change. But not just employment, not just employment. I don't want people getting minimum wage for the rest of their life, right? I want gainful employment. I want you to be able to afford, a nice apartment if you want to get a nice apartment. I want you to be able to afford a house when you want to get a house. And also vehicles, like when you want to get vehicles, you're anything like me. And I'm also here to warn you that vehicles, like old cars and boats, are probably the most efficient way to drain your bank account. So, I went ahead and went down the rabbit hole of applying to a lot of different organizations that did the kind of work I was looking for. And I have been able to work with many different departments of government here in the United States, places like the IRS, the FDA, the Department of Justice, the Department of Defense, lots of others. But I've also been able to work around the world. And I have not yet met anyone else who has been able to get a glimpse into as many different jobs held by blind and vision individuals as myself. And I'll just take that as a little flex. But I say that because so much is possible, you guys. And I want all of you that are going out into the world to know that so much of it is possible. The hardest thing is that we don't always know what we are good at until we do it. And it's really hard to do it. So, one of the shortcuts, since I have become an employment specialist, is volunteer, you guys. Volunteer, because it's a very low cost and very low barrier to entry to many things. And you get a lot of experience in many different fields when you volunteer. Unpaid internships, volunteering, those are some of the ways that I have been the most successful in my career, because it usually comes back and gets me a good reference. So, since we're on that topic, I want to share a couple things with you today. One of them is, when I was going through all my intakes and interviews and all of my investigations for getting out of my $12,000 debt, I learned a couple things when I was a kid. One of them, the first one, is that it is a lot of work to advocate for yourself when you don't know what you need. So focus on yourself first and foremost. The most important person to understand is yourself and what you need. And you can work on conveying that, but as long as you understand what it is that you need, everything else usually falls into place pretty well. The second thing is, do everything and anything that you do it to the best of your ability. I used to work with an individual named Mr. Raymond, and he was awesome. And when I was working with him, I was teaching him how to use his iPhone. And I gave him instruction, because he had recently lost his vision. He was an older gentleman. And he would work on the iPhone and do the tasks that I gave him, and he would mutter under his breath, good, better, best. Good, better, best. And one day I'm like, what are you saying, Mr. Raymond? He goes, good, better, best. And he goes, you've never heard of that? I'm like, no. And he put his phone down, and he sat up in his chair, and he goes, I need to tell you about good, better, best. And I said, I need to hear about good, better, best. And he goes, good, better, best. Repeat after me. I said, okay. So I repeat after him. He goes, never let it rest. Until your good is better, and your better is best. And that one stuck with me. And it has worked out for me and everybody else that I have been able to work with ever since. The most important thing you can get from the people around you is good references. And that's in employment, but also in your professors as you go on into higher ed. And those kinds of things, you guys cannot buy it from people, and they can't be sold to people either. So, no matter what it is, do it to the best of your ability. Another one of the things that has really panned out well for my individuals is try to take as little money as you can from any government. It's usually not worth as much as the time it took to get. And I see this a lot with the people I work with, because in these kinds of programs, you have a set limit of how much you can save. Thankfully, we have things like able accounts now that weren't a thing when I was growing up. And you guys are able to save a lot more, thankfully. But there's still restrictions put on you. So, try to really work on figuring out your budget and what kind of life you want to live. Because you can get it. You can get it, you guys. If I've been able to get the stuff that I wanted, I am sure that you can. Because I have done everything you're not supposed to do, and somehow I've been able to fix it. All right. So, not a huge fan of talking about myself. I like to tell other people's stories. And that's kind of what we're going to close with. And that's the reason why I want to open with you guys. I'll start with your stories. So, I know everyone's anxious to get moving and finish up the days to be with your friends and family. So, I'll just give you a little more idea of who I am real quick. So, my name is Eli, and I was born in California, born and raised. I'm a first generation born here. My parents came from Mexico, and very grateful to be born here in this country. I've spent lots of time around the United States and also around the world due to all the different clients that I have worked with. I've worked with clients in Israel, India, Turkey, a bunch of other places. And I'll tell you guys, the time zone changes are rough. Yeah, we made it work. And you know, I was born into a lower income family, and what we lacked in money, we sure made up for it in people. We had a very small 2-story greenhouse that was 2 bed and 1 bath, or it was a 1.5 bath. And at one point, I clearly remember we had 13 people living in it. And it was so much fun. But you know, it was something that I definitely recognized and worked to work our way out of. And thankfully we have been able to do so. We are, you know, we really can't ask for much more. It's taken a lot of work. And you know, I share my story about my schooling because, like Ann mentioned during my speech, none of my path has been a straight line. Like I mentioned, before I turned 21, I dropped out of college twice, and I went back, and I'm still doing it now. But by the time I was 25, I had filed a tax return for $75,000 on my own business. That was apart from my W-2 I held at the time. And that was a lot more than I ever expected to earn at 25. And now I am 29. If I can manage to stay alive until the end of the year, I'll be 30. And I make a lot more now than I did when I was 25. And I don't say that to brag. I say that because I want everyone here to know that it is 100% possible. I've been able to close on the house, and I've had all of the vehicles that I wanted. Granted, they are all old and in various stages of repair, and you know, but I have them, they're mine. But all of you guys can do it. All you guys can definitely do it. Part of the reason I have been able to do this is because when I worked for the Earl Baum Center, I worked for an awesome man named Jeff Harrington. And he's got a great book out called Pressure. You guys should look it up and take a read. I didn't mention the book, so it's pretty cool for me. But he was the first person to introduce me to computer and JAWS. Back when JAWS 2.0 was a thing. Years and years and years ago. Long time ago. And what was really cool is I was a child when that happened, when I worked with him. And then later on in life, he was my boss. And he's the one who taught me that you don't truly know something until you can explain the topic thoroughly to somebody 5 different ways, and that person has a full understanding of what you were trying to convey, even though they've never known about the topic before. He's the one who taught me that. And has gotten me in a good position to advocate for myself and others. Another person I want to mention is my TBI. And she worked with me through so much, you guys. It's so much. I lost my vision completely by the time I was 4 years old. And that doesn't say much because the vision before that wasn't even all that good to begin with. But I also had leukemia at that age. So from the age of 4 to 7, I was in the hospital a lot. And it was a 2-hour drive from where I lived to the hospital where I was doing my TBI would make the drive to go to me in the hospital and work with me on Braille and also English. And I would fight with her on English, because English was not my first language. I had Spanish. And I have tapes that I wish I would have brought today, where she would put my hand on things like the door and say door, and I'd say, no, it's actually a puerta. She did a lot of work with me. She was also my own instructor. She is the reason that I hold the job today that I hold. And it is the reason why I'm able to travel upwards of 60,000 miles a year, and a lot of it being solo. She's also the reason I'm able to make the food that I want to make when I want to eat it. And, well, I cook a lot. She actually is in the crowd with us today. We're blessed to have her in the crowd. So, Terry, go ahead and please stand up for us real quick. She had 4 months for her helping to read also. So, thank you both so much for coming today, Terry Reed Weather. You guys might recognize that last name because your speaker last year was Hobie Weather. So this isn't, I'm not just a one-off thing with her. She was really good at doing her job. And both her son, Hobie, and myself are traveling quite extensively. And we do a lot of solo travel. I will say that this year she did say that I am her favorite third son, so I'm going to claim that title. All right. So just to wrap this up for everybody, you all are in charge of what happens from here forward. You are in charge of advocating for yourself and learning about yourself. And do not worry when you have to change the direction that you're going. I've done it many times in my life, and I'm feeling like I still have a lot more changes to make. And there's nothing wrong with that. As long as you figure out what kind of life you want to live and what it's going to look like, and from that point, you can kind of build around that. And as you go out into the world, really focus on being a part of those around you that you want to be with. And the best example I can give of that is when all my friends started getting licenses and driving, I could not do the same thing, but I wanted to ride with them. And it's part of the reason I learned to work on vehicles the way I did, because when they took long road trips, they had no choice but to take me along. Someone there was going to change the tire. So I got taken along whether I wanted to or not, and that was a lot of fun. So always learn to see what you can contribute. And I'm sure you all will surprise yourselves on the amount of skills that you can gather. Because I'm sure everybody here has a lot to contribute going forward to everyone around them. And with that, I wish you all the best going forward, and I'm sure you will all do great. Thank you.
At this time, a few of our students would like to share their message with you. So at this time, Olivia Jasmine.
Thank you, Mr. McCormick. Today we celebrate the Washington State School for the Blind class of 2026. To our teachers who have watched us grow under your guidance, today you set off your students with skills we will use to pursue our futures. Respect, kindness, honesty, and responsibility. You shaped your students and we will always be grateful to you. Before I came to WSSB, I knew my needs were being ignored in public high school. It felt like the staff just did not know what to do with me. My needs were not taken seriously. In public high school, I knew I was not going to grow. WSSB has provided me with many opportunities and lots of guidance. From staff who know how to connect with students and provide safe learning experiences. I've grown in my skills of public speaking. I've traveled to Hawaii, and I've connected with students who I can relate to on many deeper levels. Graduating students, today we prove to ourselves that we can go beyond what we believed our limits were. We deserve this moment. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, and long live our immigrant sisters and brothers. Congratulations, class of 2026.
Next up is Angel Miller Workout.
Okay, once I got Kate here, hold on. I need Kate to see right.
Alright, so hi, my name is Angel. I have been going to WSSB since 2019. Wow, being part of class 2026 is both bittersweet, invigorating, and just plain amazing. I want to start off by thanking all my teachers, advocates, and people who have stood up for me and helped me become the person I am today. I want to give special thanks to Ms. Little, my advocate. She's helped me with so much and helped me become more confident and helped me advocate for myself more whenever I need it. I want to thank Jerry for helping me with discovering a future career in software design and coaching me in powerlifting. Gosh, what can I even say about class 2026? Well, a few words. Calm, cool, collected, and confident. I created this quote actually a couple years ago in O&M, and it's stuck with me ever since then. I want to make a banner of that, but I don't know, I haven't time yet. So I have some advice for any incoming freshmen. Stay calm. So I know high school can be a challenge, and gosh, yes, it's crazy in our room. So yeah, so stay confident, be yourself, keep your head up, and most importantly, just have fun. Sometimes in high school, we get to have fun and just be ourselves, which is really important. All my teachers have helped me become the person I am today, the person that is standing on the stage in front of you. I have learned to be myself and accept who I am. Finally, a message to the graduate class of 2026. Again, stay calm, cool, collected, and confident. We made it.
Next up, we have Theodore Collins.
Good morning, everyone. My name is, of course, you may all know who I am, but for those who don't know who I am, I'm Theo Burkhalter, and I'm honored to be here as 2026 graduates. And for all you who don't know, I'm Chinese, and I actually have a Chinese name for y'all who don't know. And to show you my pronunciation of the Chinese name is Mel Young, and some practice speaking it. And anyway, I'm honored to be here and so thankful for all the people in my life, especially my parents, and for choosing to adopt me to this life, to give me this life that I have. The best financial choice that one can make is adopting their own kid. And I just am so thankful for that. And I also want to thank my grandma for giving me this public speaking skill. Honestly, the hardest thing to do, and overcoming that fear of judgment, overcoming the fear of feeling like you are not enough. And sometimes you just gotta let go and talk, and because people don't know what you're gonna say next. And my grandma helped me push through when I, at the fair, talked about a cane, talked about football. My grandma would always pause me and say, take a breath and keep going. Don't slow, don't say just keep going. And I just am thanking all the people here and my grandma. And so if you get a chance to say hi to her, please go say hi to my grandparents. Thank you everyone for being my life, and yeah.
Next up, we have Nevaeh Gonzalez.
Good morning, fellow graduates, and everyone gathered here today to celebrate with us. I want to say congratulations to the class of 2026. We made it to this day, and I'm so proud of us. It feels like yesterday I was a freshman, and now I'm standing here getting ready to graduate. My journey through high school was not easy. These 4 years have taught me a lot about who I am and who I want to be. I've made mistakes, I've let people influence me in negative ways, and made wrong choices. Looking back now, I'm grateful for the consequences I faced because they forced me to reflect on my actions and realize that that's not the person I want to be. I realized that I wanted to be a kind, respectful, responsible, and surround myself with people who encourage me to do well and make good choices. Through therapy, personal growth, and faith in myself, and just as importantly, or if not more importantly, God has helped me change my mindset and become a better person. I'm still a work in progress. I'm still growing every day, but I'm proud of how far I've come. If I could leave any message behind for my younger peers, it would be, don't be a follower just because you want to fit in. Pay attention to who you surround yourself with. Choose friends who support, encourage, and help you grow. Be a leader, not a follower. Most importantly, be kind. We all make mistakes, and we're not perfect, but our mistakes do not define who we become. Thank you to everyone who has supported me throughout this journey. Congratulations to the class of 2026. No matter what challenges we faced, we made it. I wish you all nothing but the best as you enter the next chapters of your life.
Thank you, Ms. McCormick. Well, you might know me. I'm Lily Houston, or Madam President. And besides that, wow, class of 2026, we made it. This is a day I'm going to remember.
Thanks, Madam President.
Exactly. So, I'm going to remember this day, especially the days at the park, sitting and chatting on the slides, and also walking on the track. I'm going to remember the wild COVID-19 lockdown, and yet another Zoom norms from Miss Langley. And I'm going to remember walking through the hallways and trying not to trip over everyone's canes. I'm going to remember walking to the Refocus Center to do my traditional hello to my friend, and they know who they are. And speaking of friends, I'm going to cherish all the moments, especially those where I've made mistakes and when I've learned from them. Class of 2026, you have taught me so much, especially to never give up and answering an important question. Who do I live my life for? I live my life for the ones who have cheered me on, including my family, my friends, and my teachers. But most importantly, I live for Jesus, through my mistakes I've done, and through the growth I've done in my life. With that, class of 2026, you have paved the way for new beginnings. So with that, game on.
That was a perfect cue. Game on. It is that time. Board of Trustees, staff, students, families, and all of our guests, it gives me great pleasure to affirm that the students graduating this day have met the requirements of their prescribed course of study at the Washington State School for Blind. This time I call my helpers up. Our board chair, Lily Clifton, and interim superintendent, Ann Parker. Only a huge stack of diplomas here. It's one of our bigger stacks of diplomas we've had. So my job is to balance and call your name. From Deer Park, Owen Bowe. From Rossburg, Theo, Guyang, or Burkhalter. From Lacey, Desmond Cantu. From Goldendale, Novea Amora Gonzalez. From Teenie, Olivia Jasmine Guerrero Science. There are 3 hands to shake up. Okay. From Monroe, Hayden Haskins. From Vancouver, Li-Ling Tian Houston. From University Place, Sofia Lazama Avendano. From Woodlands, Angel Miller Boyko. From Myrtle Creek, Oregon, Taylor Bowie. From Beaverton, Oregon, Saifullah Terkelli. From Vancouver, Henry Zimmerman. All right, it's not over yet. Before departing, it is our practice to have our students ring a bell for each year of attendance at WSSB. In just a moment, please join us in the Irwin Courtyard for our bell ringing ceremony. And afterwards, in the Commons for a reception with punch and cookies. I know punch and cookies are good. So, I can't tell you how much we appreciate everyone for joining us today to honor and celebrate these wonderful individuals. Thank you. Okay, seniors, please stand and get ready to move your tassels. This is a symbol of crossing over to the next stage in your life. I present to you the class of 2026. Please let our graduates take it first and meet them in the courtyard. Thank you, everybody.